Hello everybody, my name is Liana, and today I thought I would do a tutorial on how to make that classic treasure and key minigame. If you play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that game where you go into a room and you're presented with two treasure chests, one of which has a key. Once you obtain the key, you can unlock a door and proceed to the next room, where you're presented with another set of treasure chests. And this goes on until you get to the final chamber where you can obtain the grand prize. I didn't have any intentions on creating this tutorial, but a couple of users on my channel requested this, so you asked for it and here it is. Before we get started, I just wanted to show you what it is that we're doing. I created this. There's 4 different chambers, and there's 2 chests in 3 different chambers. If you go up to the door, it won't open because it's locked. In order to open the door, you have to get the key. In order to get the key, you have to look inside of one of these chests. The key is in one of the chests, which means you have a 50% chance of finding the key. If you don't find the key, it'll display a message and warp you back to the beginning. The odds of finding it in each chest is the same, meaning that the odds are not predetermined. That might be shocking to some of you because to a player, the logic of a player thinks that there's a key in one of the chests, but in actuality, in the script, there is no key. And what I mean by that is it's not predetermined. To a player, it might seem that way, but as a programmer, as a video game designer, you know that the key, the odds of finding the key are not predetermined, meaning that there is no key in one of the 2 chests. So I can unlock the door, and it warps me back if it's empty. One of the things that you have to be aware of is that it is choosing a random number between 1 and 2, so there's a 50% chance of finding the key. And I know I've said that already, but one thing that you have to keep in mind is that the seed that generates the random number, I'm not talking about a seed that you plant, I'm talking about there's something that programmers know about called a seed. And this seed is used to generate a random number. That seed pretty much never changes. The random number generator resets every time you warp, and this is a huge problem because it means that if you time your movements just right, you can get the same outcome every single time. And what does this mean? Well, it means that the random number generator in the script isn't random at all. In fact, it's very predictable. To a computer, it's extremely predictable, but to a human, it's not as predictable, but it can be predictable if you time your movements just right. So my suggestion is that you warp your character far, far away from the beginning. See, I was stupid because I warped my character right in front of the 2 treasure chests, which you shouldn't do. You're more likely to get the same outcome every time you go through the minigame. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and create a minigame, but before we do that, I have to delete everything that I just created. Why am I doing this? Well, because we're going to create it again from scratch. And I want to show you exactly how I did this. Oh wait, event placement and world organization. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that as well. Items and what else? General Verk. Okay, the first step is to create a dungeon. Go to Graphics, Dungeon, Editor. I've already created a dungeon off camera, as you already know, and I called it Game Room. And this is what it looks like. This is the only thing I'm not going to create by scratch because it takes too long and it's time consuming. But as you can see, I have 4 chambers. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. In the 4th chamber, I'm going to put the grand prize. In the other 3 chambers, I'm going to put a set of 2 chests. You'll notice that I have a gap between the chambers, and in this gap, I'm going to put a locked door. The locked doors play an important role in the functionality of the minigame because it prohibits the character from proceeding unless they have a key. The second step after you create the dungeon is to create 2 variables. Go to Game, Game Settings, Custom, Variable, and there's 2 variables that I created, one called Game, and a random number generator called random number. You might be surprised to find that I didn't create any flags. That's because it's not needed. It's actually more convenient to have a variable because we have a series of events that happens. I only use flags when there's only one thing that is either off or on, but in this case we have several things that are either off or on, which means that we can use a variable instead of a flag, instead of like 3 separate flags. The next step is to create an item, so go to Game, Items, and create new data, and call this a key. So this is the key that you obtain from one of the 2 chests. Okay, the next step is to create a script. So let's go to Scripts, and let's call this Grand Prize. This is the script that is applied when you win the minigame. The first thing that happens is that the chest opens up. So go to Events, Effects, Single Action. The model is an object. You want to disable motion after action. Here's a preview of what it looks like. It's just the chest opening up. And disable motion after action just means that it won't loop over and over again. And if you want to, you can add a sound effect right before it opens up. Shutter. And -10 for the pitch. Screen display, text message. This is a message that tells you that you've won the minigame. And it tells you how much you won. How much money you won. 1,000 gold. For some reason, 1,000 gold just seems like a nice round number. Like, it wouldn't make any sense to win 569 gold for some reason. Okay, party, possessions, money. Add 1,000. Okay, the next thing that I'm about to do is optional. You don't need it, but it does kind of make sense. I'll explain in just a bit, but first I'm gonna go to data, target, basic info, item, remove, key. So at the end of the minigame, you're going to be holding an extra key, and it kind of makes sense that once you get to the grand prize, it takes away that extra key, because you're not going to be doing anything with it, right? Except using it to get the grand prize. So that's why I have it take away the key. Right now, as the script is, it doesn't know what target is. We have to specify what target is. See, it says target data, item minus key. We have to specify data, so go to data, variable, member order equals 0. I've said this a million times, but I'll say it a million times more. Member order is the order in which parties appear, or party members appear in the party. Member order 0 is the leader of the party. Go to data, member info, use member order. And what this does is it takes member order, which is the input, and it outputs member number. Member number is the target. That's what target is. I'm not really sure why they call it target instead of member number. I don't know. And I think there's one more thing that we need to do. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think we need to do member info load. I don't think it's necessary, but just to avoid any bugs, I'm gonna put that there. Maybe I'll put a little note. I'll test it out without it and see if it works, and if it works, I'll put a little note in the video to tell you. I don't think it's necessary, but whatever. We're done with this script, and we're gonna create another script called game chest. This is the script that applies when you open up a chest, any treasure chest besides the grand prize chest. So first it's going to open up. The model is going to be an object, disable motion, after action, you know the drill, and then a sound effect right before. And then data variable, select random number, which is the variable that we created, 1 question mark 2. What this does is it rolls a random number between 1 and 2. It's a 50% chance that it'll land on 1 and a 50% chance it'll land on 2. After that, we create a condition by going to script branch, condition, variable, random number, 1. So this is saying if random number equals 1, then it's going to display a message that says the chest is empty. And then it's going to warp the character back to the entrance. I can't warp the character right now because I haven't made a world organization. I deleted the world organization temporarily I mean, not temporarily, but we're going to create a new world organization and then come back to this script. But for now, we're going to copy this condition right here and paste it at the very end of the script and edit it. Instead of random number equals 1, it's going to check to see if random number equals 2. And if it does, the opposite is going to happen and you're going to receive a key. So, screen display, text message. You found a key. And if you want to, you can put a sound effect right before that, but I'm not going to do that, just to save some time. I'm trying to think, what's next? I think we're supposed to give the target a key. So go to Data, Target, Basic Info, Item, and then add a key. But like I said before, the script doesn't know what target is, so we have to specify that. Right before target data item plus key, go to Data, Variable, member order equals 0, and then right after that, Data, member info, use member order, and I don't know if this is necessary, but I'll put it in anyways, Data, member info, load. The next thing that we have to do is copy this target data item plus key, paste it right before itself, edit it, and instead of add, remove the key. The reason why we do that is because we want to make sure that the character doesn't get excess keys. In the end, they might get more keys than they should. In the end, they should only have one key, and they should use that single key to open up the grand prize treasure chest. Make sure that it's in this correct order. The order is member order equals 0, and then after that it changes to member order, and then member info load, take away a key, and then give away a key. It has to be in that order or else it won't work. Let's go ahead and update this and create some conditions. Chest. There's going to be 6 chests total, but we're going to have 3 instances of treasure chests. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. But let's do chest 1 condition. Oh, the type of script is a page condition. Script branch condition, variable, game, and let me check my notes. Okay, game has to be set at 1. And the reason is that I think I'll explain this later, but for now, just bear with me, and let's go to Data, Flags, Satisfy Page, On. So it's saying if game equals 1, then it's going to satisfy page, meaning that the condition has been met. And let's go ahead and save that. Let's copy that script and paste it and rename it to chest 2 condition. Edit the condition. Instead of game equals 1, make it game equals 2. Actually, it shouldn't be equals. It should be greater than or equal to. Sorry about that. Let me go back to the other script. Greater than or equal to. Okay. Let's copy chest 2 condition. This is the last condition for chests that we're gonna make. And the condition should say 3. Game is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, now let's create some door scripts. This is door locked. It's just gonna be a text message, that's all. It's gonna say the, whoops, the door is locked. If you want, you could add a sound effect, like a deny sound effect or something. Let's create another door script called door open. This is what happens when you have a key, as opposed to not having one. Events, effects, single action, object, disable motion after action. So basically the door is just opening, it's swinging open, and it stays open. And right before that, we're gonna put a sound effect of the door opening. And right here, at the very end of the script, we're gonna go to events, movement, bypass members. If you don't bypass members, you won't be able to go through the door. It won't allow you to go through, which is kind of dumb, but okay. Now we have to create door conditions. Door 1. We only need to make 3, so don't worry. Door condition 1. It's gonna be a page condition. And script branch, condition, variable. Game greater than or equal to 1. And right in between we go to data variable, whoops, satisfy page. Wait, where is that? Did I skip it? Oh, that's a variable. Data flags, satisfy page. Okay. I just remembered there's one thing that I forgot to do that's very crucial in creating this. Go back to game chest, this script right here. I knew I was forgetting something. Right here where it says you found a key. Go to data, variable. Oh wait, did I already? Oh no, I didn't. Okay. Game equals, wait. Oh, okay. I'm just double checking to see if I put it in there. I don't think I put it in there. Game equals game. This is the variable that we created. Game equals itself plus 1. This is very important. It changes the functionality of all the events. If we don't have this in there, it won't work. I can't believe I forgot to put that in there. It doesn't really matter where you put this as long as it's inside of this condition right here. This condition that says random number equals 2. See right here? You can just slap it in anywhere. It doesn't really matter. It could be before the message or after the message or after any of these things, but I just put it right here, right after the message. So let's go ahead and continue and copy this door 1 condition and paste it, rename it to door 2, change the condition to game is equal or greater than to 2, then do the same thing. make one more, call it door 3, and change this to 3. We're done creating scripts, so we no longer have to create any more scripts. Now we just have to create the events. So go to Scripts, Events, create new data. I'm going to create the grand prize treasure chest. Objects, it's going to be a chest. This chest is going to face south. Depending on how you created your dungeon, you may want your events to face a certain direction. The way that I created my dungeon is in such a way that I want the events to face south because the character is going to face north. So the motion is going to be chest close. This is a pre-made script. We did not create this. This was already created for us. It's a script called chest closed. If you didn't load preset data, you probably won't see this. But this is basically a script that makes it so that the chest stays closed and it doesn't open and shut. The start is examine and the apply is the script we created called Grand Prize. Now let's create 3 chests. So this is going to be chest 1, objects, chest, facing south, motion, it's going to be chest closed, examine, game chest. Okay, and let's see, I think that's about it. Let me check my notes really quick. Something tells me I need to make another instance of this event because or maybe not. Let's update that. Copy it, paste it, call this chest 2, and hold on a second. Okay, I just had a thought. There is something that we need to do. We need to go to chest 1, copy this page and paste it. Go to page 1 where it says condition type, choose script, and then apply the script that we created called chest 1 condish. Change the apply to none. Change motion to chest opening. Chest opening is a pre-made script. We didn't create it, but what it does is it opens up the chest. And go to chest 2 and do the same thing. Go to page 1, change condition type to script, and apply the scripts we made called chest 2. Change the apply to none. Change motion to chest opening, and copy that. And change the script to chest 3 condish, and I think that's about it. Now we have to create the doors, so make an event called door 1. Okay. The model display is going to be a door. It's going to face south. The model is going to be, the motion is going to be chest closed. I know that seems kind of weird, but chest closed is a script that makes it so that events stay shut, including doors. The start is going to be examine, and the apply is going to be door locked. let's go ahead and copy this and paste it, go to page 1, change the condition type to script, and apply the script called door1 condish. And change the apply to door open. We're gonna go ahead and copy that, change that to door 2, change the condish to door 2 condish. So it should look something like this. Here's page 0, and then here's page 1. So the only thing we're really changing here is just this condition right here. Make sure it's in this order. Make sure page 0 looks exactly like this and page 1 looks exactly like this. If it's swapped, then there's a chance it might not work. So door 3, and then change the condition to door 3 condition. We're done creating events. Now all we need to do is place them. So go to scripts, event placement, create new data, and call this game room. And select the dungeon. Select game room as the dungeon, and then go to edit. And let's go ahead and place the doors. Here's door 1, door 2, and door 3. And the chests, here's chest 1. Put 2 chest 1s here, and do the same thing here, but instead of chest 1, it'll be chest 2. And then chest 3 will be here. And then at the very end will be grand prize. So it should look something like this. There's a set of 2 chests in each chamber except for the 4th one, and there's 3 doors leading up to the grand prize. Now we have to create a world organization. Go to graphics, world organization, create new data, and call it game room. Whoops. And apply the dungeon that we created and the events, the event placement. And if you want, you could add a background music or something. Maybe give it some decorations or... Now that we gave it a world organization, we can warp the player back to the beginning if they don't get a key. Go to game chest, where it says the chest is empty right here, where it says random number equals 1. There's 2 things we need to do. First of all, we need to refresh everything. In order to do that, go to data, variable, go down to game. Game should equal 0. And let me think. And we're gonna warp the party, so go to party, teleport, warp, game room, and put them at the beginning. Well, I actually, like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't recommend putting them at the very entrance. I recommend putting them as far as possible away from the entrance of the game. And the reason why is because the random number generator, you know that random number equals 1 question mark 2, that's the random number generator. That thing resets itself every time you warp. The seed stays the same, the seed that helps generate the random number. And the problem is that if you time your movements precisely every single time, you can get the same exact outcome, and that's a huge problem. So I recommend putting them as far away as possible so that they're less likely to get the same outcome every time. And another thing that we want to do is let's copy this code right here. Member order equals 0, change to member order, load, item minus key. We want to take away their key. So copy these 4 lines of code and paste it right before the character warps, right before teleport warp. Just paste it right there. So it takes away their key so that they don't have any extra keys at the next time that they play. Let's update that. And you should be good to go. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Let's go to Game, General Settings. Change it to Game Room. Select this icon and put them at the beginning of the game room. It should work now. You found a key. Does this work? The door's locked. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Maybe I didn't explain it enough. Let me see if I can explain this. Okay, so here we are at the start of the minigame. We have 2 chests and a locked door. We have a 50-50 chance that we'll get a key. If you get a key, the other chest will open up and you won't be able to open this treasure chest. That's why we have the scripts that we made. You know, the chest 1 condition? That's the purpose of the script, is so that you won't be able to open up this chest, because that would be useless, you know. Also, the point of creating door conditions, you know, the door 1 condition, door 2 condition, the purpose of that is that it checks to see if you have a key. If you have a key, it'll allow you to go through. Game, which is the variable, equals 1. And we made a script that says if game equals 1 or greater than 1, then satisfy page equals on, meaning that the condition has been met and you should be able to open the door. We also made a second door, and this door says it's locked. In order to get through, we need the key. Once you get the key, game will equal 2. Game is, again, the variable. Game will equal 2 if game is equal or greater than 2, then satisfy page, and it'll allow you to go through the door. But we didn't get the key, so what happens? It warps us to the beginning of the minigame, but before it does that, it resets everything. In order to reset everything, it has to game has to equal 0. So game equals 0, and it also takes away the key, so you don't have any keys at the moment. But I found a key, so there's the key. And if I don't find a key in the next chest, it will take away that key. So, got a key. Let's go through. Let's see if we can win. Ah! I just want to see if we can win here. You might be surprised to know that the odds of getting a key are not predetermined. In a player's mind, they think that there's a key in one of the 2 chests, but as you just saw while I was, you know, teaching you how to do this, it's not predetermined at all. In fact, it's just a random number generator generating a random number. So there is no key. But in a player's mind, they think that there is a key. So what does this mean for you as the player and, well, the game designer? Well, it means that you can choose either one of the chests and you have the same odds. It doesn't really matter. But you don't tell the player that, because the player thinks that there's a key in one of the chests. Cool. So this is what happens when you win the minigame. You get 1,000 gold. And as you can see, I have 1,000 gold. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Sorry if it was a little boring at the end, but I tried to explain everything as much as possible. So thanks for watching, and thank you for subscribing. See you later. Here's an illustration of the minigame with 3 chambers, each with a set of 2 treasure chests. And within one of each pair of chests lies a hidden key. There's a 50% chance you'll get a key in one of the chests in each chamber. To get to the grand prize, you must get the key in each chamber. Question: what are the odds of winning the grand prize? Is the answer A, 50%, B, 12.5%, or C, none of the above? Answer: some of you may be surprised to find that the answer isn't A, 50%. The answer is B, 12.5%. To get the grand prize, you need to get the key in all 3 chambers, not just one. The odds of winning the grand prize diminishes the more chambers you add to your minigame. To calculate the odds of winning, you'll need to take 50% and divide it by half for every additional chamber there is. For the first chamber, there's a 50% chance of getting a key. For the second chamber, there's a 25% chance of getting the key, because remember, to get the second key, you must have the first key. For the third chamber, we take that 25% and divide it in half again, and we get 12.5%. Had there been an additional chamber, the odds of winning the grand prize would have been a 6.25% chance. If you thought the number of chambers was irrelevant in influencing the odds of winning, think again. Here's an idea: create that same chest and key minigame, but this time have the pathway split into multiple directions. At the end of each pathway is a grand prize that contains a different reward.